11 now.
Somewhere
That sounds
in
about
there.
right.
I'm not smart either. Hi, Sobe.
So,
Hello.
welcome to episode 11 of the Beyond Pixels podcast. Today, we're talking about computer hardware, computers, first computer, things like that. We are supposed to have a couple more people than this in here, but everyone's running a little late today or had to cancel for one reason or another. So we don't have a whole lot of people to talk to, reason or another. So we don't. Okay, unless Davian comes in, then we'll hear the history of computers.
Pooter. Just me and my pooter.
But for now we're going to be talking about things, talking about computers, hardware, that type of stuff. Hey, Vampy. So, well, let's just get right into it. Vampy,
Yeah?
what was your first computer, if you know?
Oh, God. It was one... Okay. You remember the old, white monitors? The box ones?
The CRTs.
I don't know. But let's just put it like that. That's the kind of computer I had. And
Jesus.
one of the first games I ever played was with my father. It was a game where you emailed turns back and forth to each other.
What?
It was called Stars with an exclamation mark. I'm not even joking. This was a game. It was a 4X space strategy game that you would email the turns back and forth.
Vampy?
Yes.
You're old. Your age is showing.
Motherfucker!
What do you mean he's old? He's like...
This was
he's like-
back when
he's
I was
like-
in high school,
12.
Middle school actually, too.
And when I was in school, I was
think
playing
I like that.
Minecraft.
That was when I was in high school. Remember,
Jesus.
I'm 29, motherfucker.
When I
You
was in
know.
elementary school, you're only 4 years older than me, and you're talking like you were using hardware that was outdated when I was in first grade.
Okay, but it also depends on where you
Yeah,
live and
I
how
was.
well you can get a hold of said
Jesus.
PC parts and hardware and stuff. There's a lot of... I came from a farming, backwoods country, out there on the outskirts of middle of fuck nowhere for a while before the city started pulling out. And we had them old-ass computers with the just box, heavy box.
1 second.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember using a CRT. It's always been
Alright, I gotta check my Discord.
modern flat screens for me. My first computer was a Dell Inspiron 530S. Fun story about that. I'm still using the keyboard that came with that computer, and the mouse just finally decided to start dying on me. The left click is giving out, so I switched that over to my streaming computer.
So, do you want to know how old that Stars game was?
Sure.
It was initially released as shareware for Microsoft Windows in 1995.
Jesus. Older than me.
Before you were born. Before you were born, motherfucker. It was when I was a year old that shit came out, and when I was in middle school, I was playing it with my father.
Jesus.
Oh, I need to put
But
the stream up too.
that was a very fun first game to play. That's why I still like 4X strategy games. Especially the
I don't know what you mean by
space
4X.
sci-fi ones.
4X to me is 4 times. I don't
Okay,
understand what you're...
it's explore. It's explore, expand, exploit, exterminate.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, you lost me.
Interesting.
Oh my fucking god. 4X is a style of game.
I've
God, for
never heard of it.
strategy.
This is the
God.
first time I've ever heard of it.
Have you ever played Stellaris?
I don't think so.
You've... What?
I haven't really played a whole lot of games.
Motherfucker.
Minecraft, fucking, what was it? What was that
Oh, thinking of
in-browser
River
game
Railroad
that
game.
everyone fucking played back in the day? RuneScape. Fucking RuneScape was like
It's
the
still being
first game I
played.
ever played, and then Minecraft. And I only played RuneScape because
hey,
we were allowed to play
I got a
RuneScape
fun fact for you.
at the computers in school.
You know World of Tanks, right?
Unfortunately, I was a console gamer before I was a PC gamer. PlayStation 1, go burr.
Well, guess what? World of Tanks was also an in-browser game at one point.
Damn,
I
really?
love World of Tanks.
Yeah, it used to actually be a very simplistic game where you just end up with a tank on one side or the other, and it was just like you're fighting with colors. It wasn't as high detailed as it is now. That's actually how I originally got
World of
into
Tanks
World
and-
of Tanks.
And the other World of whatever games,
World of Warships, World of
they,
Airplanes.
those all are now breeding grounds for government document leaks.
That's War Thunder.
Yeah, every
That's
time
all those games.
a new ship, tank, or plane comes out, people start releasing fucking classified documents saying this is not accurate.
Actually, it's supposed to be this strong and shoot this caliber. God.
World of
And
Warships
it has
doesn't have
extra
much
armor
of that
here.
Issue.
World of Warships,
Because-
they run out of ship ideas, so they just make up their own half the time. Or just use concept
Or they
ships
make
that
up conceptual ideas.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
conceptual ideas.
Do,
that were never
do
built.
they happen to have that like concept ship that the government was thinking of making that was made out of ice and sawdust?
Oh,
No.
that. No, they don't.
That'd
but
be
that would be
hilarious.
fucking amazing. Because they were planning to use that with the carriers for a way to save on steel and still be able to have
Yeah.
a ship go around.
Well, I'm old.
Yeah,
I
that
know
stuff
about
was
that.
funny.
You want to know the best part of the reason why they were actually thinking about using them?
Hmm.
In the office, when they were proposing the subject,
It's
the guy
It's
who was
also
proposing was
bulletproof.
like, I will prove how effective this is. Pulled out his fucking sidearm, shot it, it ricocheted, and hit another officer in the leg.
That's great. Yeah, so Sobe, what was your first computer, if you remember? Like, first computer you ever played games on? Even if it was like a family computer at the time.
E-machine. And the first
That thing
game
had
I
to have
played on
had
it was
freaking
Pajama
IDE
Town.
drives.
I have no idea.
Pajama, what? What even is
I
that?
don't know
the
Pajama
oldest
Town?
one I had, the first
Educational
one I
game.
played
No.
with had a floppy drive available.
So,
I
okay,
think.
now
I don't
let's
remember.
take one step further back. What is the oldest computer you have used?
The first one I ever used. I'm not shitting you.
So,
that was the oldest. Ever
The
since everything
oldest
slowly-
computer I have ever used is an Apple II.
Apple II.
Like
I
the
don't know what it's
original
called.
Apple computers.
I'm too Gen Z for this shit.
I I worked at a computer shop, and they got a bunch of donated items and things from a guy that was clearing out a bunch of storage units. And one of the things that got donated was an Apple II with a working
Oh,
hard drive and a
nice.
bunch of working floppies. So I got to play fucking Oregon Trail
Text-based games.
on that OG thing. It was so much fun.
Text-based games are probably the most fun sometimes
Yeah.
because
So
you can do just
Oregon
about
Trail-
anything and really that's what things.
Oregon Trail has to be played text-based. You cannot play it in like playing Oregon Trail in color, 3D, all that stuff. It's just not right. It has to be played
Yeah.
the OG text console.
Just like if someone were to remake Stars now into something closer to Stellaris, because that's the best comparison. It's the old school Stellaris. I wouldn't be able to feel right about playing it because it's one of those things like you emailed turns back and forth constantly.
I don't even get how that would work.
You take your turn, you email it, they take their turn, they email, and then or no. I think what happened is actually it was like, say my father was the host. I would email my turn to him. He would take that turn in, do his turn, and then calculate everything for all the AIs on his computer, and then send back the results to me.
Jesus.
It was a very nice way to play the game because it was one of those ones you take weeks and months to actually play through, like several turns sometimes, depending on
that
how,
just
like,
sounds so
when
weird.
you have time. Well, think about it like this.
Man.
It was also
What
made
about...
back in 1995 when no Discord, no Skype, nothing like that.
Yeah, but the whole idea of emailing the things back and forth instead of just sitting at one computer and doing it, especially if you're playing with your dad, that's what's not making sense to me.
Well, it was for people to be able to do it from miles and miles away.
Well, I can understand that, but you playing it with your dad, why were you emailing it instead of just sitting at the same computer going turn for turn?
There was no way for it to be done that way, from what I remember.
That
There's one
makes
that you had
zero
to actually
sense.
have two different computers.
That literally makes no sense at all.
Uh-oh.
Not a lot of things make sense. You think a ship made of ice and sawdust made sense?
It legitimately did. But no, so that doesn't make sense because it adds complexity to the programming of the game by requiring two computers and sending files back and forth between them instead of just allowing it to be all done on one. That just makes no sense from a programming standpoint.
It was initially released as shareware as well. Shareware. Not like your normal game. Like
all shareware means is it's a program to be shared with other people. That's all shareware means, dude. It doesn't mean anything else.
Okay, well, either way, that's what happens. It's just the way that game was played.
That's weird.
It was a nice, chill experience compared to gaming nowadays.
Oh man, let's think here for a second. So, my whole experience with computers is based around me getting Minecraft when I was like 12. I got that. The family computer was the Dell Inspiron 530S, and I was using that. I was playing games on it. Then when the family computer got upgraded to a new one, I was given the 530S, and that became my computer. So I played Minecraft. I ended up hosting Minecraft servers and a TeamSpeak server on that computer while also playing Minecraft on the same computer, getting like 15 FPS on an integrated graphics on the CPU.
Oh,
it was like a fucking first gen Intel i5 or i3, I think. It was the weakest CPU ever. I still have all the parts to that computer, but I butchered it, pulled it apart, and made it into a server at one point.
Yeah, I only got into Minecraft when I was in high school, but the thing is, that was also when things were like, what was it, DVZ, Dwarves vs. Zombies was around, that old game mode.
I don't know that.
You've never? Oh my god!
No, I played on like Mine Z. I played on fucking Mine Z and that type of shit back then. I didn't really play on servers. I didn't really play mod packs because again, my computer was weak as fuck. I was running the server on my computer while also playing on it. So I wasn't playing on other people's servers. I was playing on my own server.
Okay, you know how like Hypixel has all these game modes right now, right, and things like that.
Yes, I understand it's a game mode of some sort, but I've never heard of it.
Let me finish. If I remember correctly, DVZ was one of the original, like, I think, either 10 or 20, like the first 10 or 20 game modes that actually ever came out for Minecraft that had a big following because there were people.
It had to have been a server
doing YouTube videos on it. Yeah, it was on a server.
It had to have been a specific server, and that's exactly what I'm saying. I never played on other people's servers back then, other than like once in a while going to like MineZ and playing on that. So I never experienced any other servers. I wasn't watching YouTube videos of it. I didn't care. I was just playing Minecraft.
It might.
That's the Shotbo network, and back then to play on the Shotbo network, you had to join a specific server. You didn't have the hubs that you have now.
Yeah.
You joined a specific IP to play on a specific server. So I would have had to specifically seek out that game mode to join it. And no one around me ever knew about it. No one ever said anything about it. So I didn't really care. Never played it. Never cared about it. But no, so my first computer, the Dell Inspiron 530S, I hosted Minecraft, played Minecraft, hosted TeamSpeak. That's actually where I met one of my coworkers now, by hosting Minecraft and TeamSpeak there. And well, what is it? So we started on the Dell. Then my dad bought me a computer on April Fool's Day one year. My dad's like, "Oh yeah, go ahead and build yourself a computer and tell me how much it costs. I'll buy it for you. Build whatever you want." And I was like, okay. So I built a reasonable computer for back then. And, well, my dad, April Fool's, you're not getting it. But he actually saw the price of it and he's like, shit, yeah, we'll order it. So I got a new computer and was running the servers on that and playing on that then. Or I was running the servers on that and playing on the other computer, the Dell still. So that became my, that HP Pavilion ended up being my server computer for 3-4 years. It had an NVIDIA GPU, and it was the worst fucking GPU in the world. I don't even know what GPU it was, but it was horrible. Then, when I started working in my junior year, my freshman year or year, I don't know. Whenever I turned 16, I started working at Fleet Farm. Ended up buying stuff. I was using a fucking all-in-one. I was using a fucking cheap, crappy all-in-one, getting like 20 FPS in games when I was at my mom's.
Oh God.
Ended up buying servers before I bought a computer and built a computer. It was fucking hilarious.
Jesus.
So I mean, I have a bunch of server hardware from like early 2000, like 2007, I think is when most of my computer, my server hardware is from. It's like DDR2 RAM. It's horrible, but it worked. That shit, if it wasn't for that shit, if it wasn't for that stuff, I probably wouldn't be in VR chat right now either. But I pretty much hosted servers for people since I was like 16, 17. And I was hosting servers for myself since I was like 12 or 13. I mean, shit, dude, oh God. I just got reminded of my first, the Dell Inspiron. How I was getting the Wi-Fi, the internet to it, was wireless. There was a 54 megabit per second wireless USB adapter plugged into that thing. I had to sit there because I was in the basement and the router and everything was upstairs plugged into the family computer. So I had to sit there in the basement in my room and this little 54 megabit per second Wi-Fi adapter kept overheating.
Oh no.
So what I decided to do was just keep cycling ice packs in the freezer back and forth, and I had to keep ice packs on my Wi-Fi to keep playing Minecraft. Because it would literally get hot to the touch. It was that bad. I have that USB somewhere.
I need my Minecraft.
It was a 54 megabit Wi-Fi adapter. Like,
That sounds
The
like
fact
an
that-
addiction, Turtle. You need help.
no, that was the only way I could do anything with the computer. That was the only
I
option I had.
understand, but you. But with the way it sounds almost like you're an addict sitting down in the basement with ice packs. Like, I need my Minecraft. I need my Minecraft.
No, like literally, it wasn't even just Minecraft. Doing anything, just browsing the internet. That thing would overheat. It would shut off my internet.
Oh God.
So I had to do a lot of weird shit, and it was fun. I had that that thing just boiling, and that thing, I had a USB extension cable plugged into my computer so I could have it up on my desk with ice packs wrapping it.
On the ice pack.
And the Wi-Fi router that we had was a Netgear. It was a complete and total. It was a garbage Wi-Fi router because we had charter. We were supposed to be getting like 150 megabit per second down, and we were only getting 54 because the Wi-Fi router only supported 54.
Oh no.
It was like wireless B. That thing was
I'm sorry,
horrible.
but now I'm just imagining you in your pink maid outfit down in the basement, just huddled in a corner over
this
this.
was
Oh, I know this was long ago,
so
but I'm
long
just
before.
that's like the image in my head.
Oh my God.
You're just in the basement in your pink maid outfit, huddled over a fucking pack of ice packs on that USB. It's just like work for me. I'm sorry. My mind is really fucked.
Jesus. Oh, so
Yeah,
that was
mostly
my
just a
like
console player.
that was my first real experience with computers, having to keep ice packs on my Wi-Fi. Then I finally talked my mom into upgrading the Wi-Fi router and giving me a better Wi-Fi card. So I had a dedicated card inside my computer finally. I think. I don't remember actually. But that was
what about the old
wild.
laptop
Either that
you
or they.
never used?
No, I got them to fucking drill a hole and give me a wire finally.
Oh yeah, that's the best way
So,
to do it.
oh man, oldest laptop, I still have it. And the funny part about my laptop, every single one of my computers
Yeah.
has the Windows key from that laptop. I have never bought a Windows key. I've been running off of the Windows 7 home key from that laptop. And that laptop started to die. Like the Wi-Fi card in it
Oh.
completely failed now. So that's why I stopped using it.
Oh no. Oh, for my oldest laptop, it was a hand-me-down from my father, but it was a big Toshiba. It was a gaming laptop.
I've never had a gaming
So
laptop.
could
I
do
had
things
just
like play modded Minecraft. I could play Warframe on the damn thing.
I just had basic things like it was a Dell Inspiron something. I don't know what it was. It was a weird laptop. It's in my closet or in one of my bag boxes somewhere. I have a picture of the Windows key on it on my phone, just so I can continue to go back to that to get my Windows key and install Windows on whatever I want. And Windows just keeps letting me, so it's great. I ended up that laptop is why I first started using Linux, because Windows was getting really slow and bogged down on it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna install Linux on this thing. Installed Linux on it, and oh man, that thing worked great up until the Wi-Fi card died.
I like how
Man,
Cheese has not said a damn thing.
She doesn't know much.
I'm a Gen Z fuck when it comes to PCs. I bonk things together like my parents do at night, just to see if it'll work.
Jesus.
I feel like I'm the oldest one sitting here in this room right now. Because it's not
What?
like Xavion's here to give his input. You know that would be a whole nother story.
How old are you?
Yeah, I messaged him.
I'm
You're
29.
older than him.
I'm 33.
I'm the youngest motherfucker in here,
Ah.
so that's why I can't talk about PCs, because I blew a PC up once just opening Blender. I can't.
Jesus.
I'm
Fucking
not
what?
very. I'm like a grandparent with dementia. I give boomer energy despite being a Gen Z when it comes to PC technology. I can barely function a phone.
Well,
these
I blew
days
up my
anyway.
first custom build computer by opening up Skyrim with too many mods.
You know what's depressing?
Oh my
I used to
God.
do coding. I used to be smart. I threw it out the window.
Jesus.
Never
I'm
knew anything
I,
about
um,
computers.
So I used to, on a fucking all-in-one, I was playing Osu all the time. I no-lifed Osu. I would literally stay up until like 5 in the morning when I had to go to school at 7, just playing Osu on that thing. It was great.
I my first pre-built computer, or not pre-built, a computer my dad built me for my birthday. I broke it the first week with Skyrim with too many mods, and I actually had to I had to play it. I had to turn the computer on in safe mode in order to do anything, and it would constantly crash. That was the computer that I met you
Wow.
in. Yeah, I blew up
Jesus.
the
Oh
computer,
my God.
and people tell me to this day that the Archette shouldn't have worked because it had a 680 in it, and that was probably one of the reasons that computer finally exploded.
680. What do you mean a 680?
Graphics card.
An AMD?
I don't remember what it was.
I don't know
I could
Nvidia's.
ask my dad what it was.
Oh,
mean,
thinking of that, I think the oldest graphics card I can remember is like...
I think that's an
I had
AMD. I was running VR
twin
chat
set-
on a fucking RX 480.
Yeah, I was running it on... Actually, I had a dual graphic card system on my older PC. I can't remember. It was 1 or 2 PCs ago. It was dual Radeon. I think it was like 7 something. And they were linked.
Oh boy, yeah, I never did. I mean, I've done dual GPU before, but it was because I had one GPU doing a specific task, and then my other one was for gaming. I was running like Bitcoin miner shit like that on it, so getting a couple dollars here and there from it.
Yeah.
But that was my
God.
first ever GPU. So when I started my job, I built my computer. It was an i5 6600K CPU, no GPU, a 500 watt power supply, and a gigabyte motherboard with an all-in-one water cooler for the CPU, and like 16 gigs of RAM. I sold the RAM, the motherboard, and the CPU to someone in Canada for like $150 when I bought my new GPU or my new CPU. But I mean, my first GPU, so I bought the GPU like a year after I built the computer. And that was my RX 480 that I sold to my sister for like $200. I paid $400 for the GPU and used it for like 3-4 years. So sold that, upgraded to an RX Vega 64, which is oddly enough currently the GPU that is making this stream happen. So the RX Vega 64 is in that, and then I bought a 5700 XT. The 5700 XT and the streaming computer were combined previously, and they were in my semi when I was driving truck. But we when I stopped driving truck, I swapped that out. When I sold the Gigabyte motherboard, though, I upgraded to an MSI motherboard with an i7 6700 or an i7 7700K CPU. But at that time, I was then running the 7700K with the 480. Then I upgraded to the 64. Sold the 480. Then I bought the 5700 XT, and I put an i9 900K in my main rig. Put the 5700 XT and the i7 7700K into my streaming rig. So now that's what's in the streaming rig right now. Then upgraded. When I stopped driving truck, I swapped and put the 5700 XT in my main gaming computer. So that's what I'm using right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's I've been through a lot of different computer hardware, and I mean my favorite mouse finally, after 16 years, decided to die.
Right.
It finally decided to start dying.
Yeah.
The left click is stopping. The left click is like in and out. It sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I'm sad because I fucking love that. Like, people are like, "Oh no, you gotta have the best gaming mouse," and I'm like, I very much like my super basic ass laser mouse. I don't need a fancy mouse. I don't like all these extra buttons because I accidentally bump them more than not.
I had a Razer Naga for the longest time, and it lasted a while because it was one of the more simplistic ones. 1 through 12 on the side, left click, right click. That's it. I played Minecraft with that because I could just switch slots so fast in the hotbar because I just had to press 1 through 9 and it would work.
Yeah, I don't like the mouse.
Look,
if the mouse has more buttons than just left click, right click, and middle click, I don't like it. It's just too much extra crap to accidentally click and end up doing the wrong thing. I'm super fast with my left hand to click whatever I need to and do that. My right hand is just the mouse, left click, right click, and middle click. That's it. That's all it should be. I hate all these fancy mice that have all these extra buttons and all this extra crap. Because, like, my current mouse that I'm using is the mouse that was with the streaming rig and was in my truck when I was a truck driver. And that mouse, it has forward, backward. And it has a DPI fucking switch button, and I hate the DPI button. It's so annoying. I like just default everything, basic ass mouse.
All right.
Man. Yeah, I'm very, very particular about my hardware and that stuff, and not wanting fancy crap. I like the basic shit
Yeah.
that
At
I
this
grew
point-
up with and I am used to.
At this point, well, at this point, I should probably save up for a new PC, just because of slowly being outdated. Because this thing's at least 4 or 5 years old at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at
On
spending
that
about
note,
$2,000.
How often should people upgrade their computers?
So the regular consensus is upgrade your motherboard and CPU every 3 to 5 years, and upgrade your GPU every 2 to 3 years.
There. Speaking of hardware, my computer was having
And
a heart attack.
power supplies, upgrade it when your power supply either starts to fail, or your power supply is no longer strong enough to handle the hardware.
Did I miss anything fun?
For me, I'm gonna just do a whole
Not
new
a lot.
PC because I can keep this as a backup. after
Yeah, I don't have to
move
really worry about
PCs.
that, because when I build a new computer, or if I swap parts into this computer, then the CPU and motherboard, and if I upgrade the GPU, the better parts parts just go, or the second best parts that I have at that time then go into the streaming rig. So the streaming rig will also always be my secondary spare computer.
By the way, I don't know if it's been
I'm still
made known yet, but Stream can't hear the music.
Oh, I know.
You just don't.
They should be able to. Wait, they should be able to. Everyone just stay quiet for.
I'm finishing turtle right now. Some nice turtle cheesecake.
I don't know. I guess they can't. But yeah, no, the audio is messed up because some Windows update decided to break my built-in audio device that I was using for relaying audio and everything, and don't know why. So that's fun. Yeah. But anyway, so we've just been talking about like the computer hardware and crap that we've had over the years. So what was your first one, Stealth?
First PC. Right now, I'm using it.
Jesus.
You are
Yeah.
what?
Otherwise, I've had a bunch of laptops
That
up
says
until
a
this
lot.
point.
You're,
Oh, okay.
You're doing what? What are you running?
I think I met you when you were using a laptop, didn't I?
Yeah, you've 100% met me when I was using a laptop.
God.
I probably did too. Let's be real.
Like you knew me before I got my PC. You knew me before I got VR. You knew me before I had my kid. You've been with me through a lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I even met you in person before you had the
we've
kid.
both been through a lot of shit
Yes.
with you, Stealth.
Wait, so how old
I
is
vaguely
your
remember
PC?
like messing with your wife.
Messing how?
I don't remember exactly.
What awarded
I
that
was
to
messing with her with the dog or something. I don't remember. It was funny.
Yeah.
Teasing her.
Wait, so Stealth, how old is your PC?
That was my PC.
Yeah, how old is it?
Like 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Time for
Oh,
replacement.
But it definitely. Yeah, no, it needs some part upgrades for sure. But otherwise, it's running fine.
Let's go on to this one. Who here has a preference on AMD versus Intel for CPUs?
I've worked with
I mean,
both.
whatever works, really.
I feel like I like AMD more.
I am
I've
against
really only had
AMD
Intel.
because I go with an AMD CPU because there was a 1 year period where my hardware would not function if I had an AMD CPU because AMD refused to do anything to fix it and the hardware manufacturer took their time to fix it. So like not really putting fault on one or the other. It's just the fact that the two were incompatible for that long, and that is just plain unacceptable to me.
They were in cahoots to not provide
I
you
won't-
any parts.
I can understand that, but performance-wise,
You only get
I
like
just felt so much better with the AMD.
you only get like 10% better on the AMD, but you spend 10% more money. You spend more
That's fair enough.
to get a little bit more
You
power
know
out
what
of
I
it.
mean? Like considering everything.
And it's such a small amount of extra power that it doesn't really make a difference in the end. Now, how about GPUs? Who here is
Right.
currently using an AMD GPU? I know I am.
I haven't really had extensive use of
I
either
think
to have
I
an
might be.
opinion on it. Like here,
Let me look.
let me double check. I think my PC is
I don't know. Was
an
GeForce
Intel processor.
No, GeForce.
GeForce is NVIDIA.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm
Turtle.
using
GeForce is
NVIDIA.
GeForce. You have been mistaken.
I know
Using
Sobe's on
NVIDIA.
an NVIDIA GPU.
Yeah, you have my specs
So-
in Discord.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on
I
an
think-
NVIDIA.
I think I might be the only person in
Yeah,
here
my
then
GPU
that's
is
using an
NVIDIA for
AMD GPU. Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
cannot
so I'm the
pull
only
up
one
my
with an
task
AMD
manager
GPU.
in VR.
I did use an AMD.
We won't beat
Or
you
my
up for
device
it.
manager, rather.
Remember the twins ones I mentioned? Those were AMD.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer
So
AMD
I did use
GPUs
them before,
over
but
NVIDIA
I've got
GPUs
NVIDIA right now.
because of just the raw power that AMD pushes. Like if you want to do something that takes a lot of force, AMD
Oh, yeah.
GPUs all the way. The only time I would ever go with an NVIDIA GPU is if I'm doing something specific that NVIDIA has paid off all of the other companies to specifically make it work much better with NVIDIA, and that's it.
Do you remember when Shadow of Mordor came out?
I've never heard of that game.
Like Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor?
Never heard of it.
Fucking god. It was one of the more intense games at the time, but I was still... Let me finish this story.
I don't play games.
But...
You're on one right now.
Motherfucker, we're in a game right now.
VR chat is the only shit I play, man.
You need to widen your repertoire.
I don't like
Power World. Anyway.
No, I won't play Power World. That's not my type of game. I've said that 100 times already.
And anyway, when I was working off those two AMD Radeon 700s that were linked, I could play Shadow of Mordor easy. Like, there was no issue ever. This was, and at that point, the equipment was also years old.
Yeah.
That's how powerful AMD is.
Yeah, AMD just pushes the raw power and makes it available. And it lets the developers decide how to use it instead of how NVIDIA says, oh, we've got this special chip that can only be used in this specific way. So if you're not doing this specific task, you just paid an extra $500, or you just paid an extra $150 to have this special chip, and you're never going to use it.
I know my GPU's a 1660 Super, and it's been working pretty damn well.
Yeah, I mean, NVIDIA GPUs are good, but the equivalent generation of AMD GPUs consistently give 25 to 30% better performance in raw computing power, and 10 to 15% better performance. But
right now, until I can upgrade, I'm stuck with what I got.
When I was looking for my GPU,
otherwise, when that comes, I'll be looking.
With this NVIDIA GPU,
NVIDIA GPUs are they're weird. NVIDIA locks them down.
The only one I could get at the time. And
says oh, if you want to do AI, here's a special chip that's built into every NVIDIA GPU, or every modern NVIDIA GPU, and you can do AI stuff so much better and so much faster. And, oh, by the way, you can't use this chip on any other hardware. So AI shit is all locked to NVIDIA. And video encoding. NVIDIA's like, oh, hey, here's another chip that's specific to video encoding. So a lot of streamers go with NVIDIA just because of that. There's so many different specialized pieces in the NVIDIA GPUs that it ends up being a weaker GPU overall unless you're doing those super, super specific tasks. And I hate that about NVIDIA. I love AMD just giving it, here's the fucking power, you use it. And developers find it easier to just develop for NVIDIA GPUs for these specialized tasks, because NVIDIA also makes those specialized tasks directly accessible through the drivers, instead of AMD says just use it. You build the software, you use the hardware. But no developers want to spend the time and effort to make AMD GPUs function as well as NVIDIA for those tasks. And it makes me super angry, because if they did, holy fuck, the raw power that could be pushed to AI is insane. The raw power that could be pushed to video encoding, insane. But we don't get that because NVIDIA's made it so easy for everyone to just make it just for them. It sucks.
Yeah. I'm not picky. Just like whatever works on my computer works on my computer.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing any of the specialized tasks either, though. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying the extra fee for the NVIDIA card, and whatever, it's there.
It works.
Yeah.
It's just the reality.
I've always liked AMD GPUs much more, because fucking just the raw power. It's so nice.
The consistent use of the word raw makes me wonder if that's how you like it.
I'll give it to you
We
raw.
all know. Yes, indeed.
You lost your chance, motherfucker.
Damn.
We're not talking about that right
yeah,
now.
you
No,
missed
we're
that
not.
chance.
Secret squirrel stuff, chat. Kind of.
So, anything else we want to touch on? I know we don't have a lot of people here today, so it's probably going to be a shorter podcast just because
this
of
is
that.
probably gonna be
There's
one
not
of the-
Yeah, it's
kind of missing Xavion, which was a big key of this podcast too. So,
Xavion and circuitry definitely have a lot to say
Yeah,
on the matters.
yeah, circuitry was busy, so he wasn't able to come tonight.
yeah, especially when
I
it's
almost
tech.
didn't make it. Had to go fight my dishwasher.
Yeah, especially when it comes to tech, those two
Is that what you call your
you
wife?
have to fight a dishwasher.
No, my.
Hey, yo!
Oh, I'm digging myself a further hole here, but it doesn't help the fact that the reason why I ran so late was because my dishwasher was leaking. There's a whole fucking saga from this dishwasher that I'll not get into. Unless you want to add on appliance
You know what?
hardware
Let's
to
have this dishwasher saga. Just add it. Go sit.
Okay.
You know what?
Give the story.
You know
Sit
what?
and give the story. Go sit.
I
in the
have a
front
story
stage
about my
center now.
dishwasher too. So you tell your story, then I'll tell mine.
Don't call me a dishwasher.
It's not a fun story.
Come on.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Oh my god.
Nothing.
Welcome to my dishwasher.
Oh shit.
Here, my dishwasher. We
Anyway, go ahead.
We beat it.
yeah. So we kind of did, but more on that in a second. So we moved into our new apartment in July. It's a basic ass apartment, you know. It's cheap, get what you pay for. But they took it one step further because 3 days into us moving in, our dishwasher just stopped working. Like it just died. I tried to start it up, nothing.
Oh, no.
I have sent out multiple work orders with the office to try and get this fixed, and so far nothing's come out of it. Ever since that day, it has slowly but surely been filling up with water. Which they want to try and fix it. I just want them to replace the damn thing. I was fine. I was in the middle of washing dishes today, and somewhere tonight, after I ran inside here to get a drink before the podcast, I look down, standing water in my kitchen. It took 2 towels to get that shit mopped up, and I'm pretty much tearing the ass out of the office of maintenance right now, just so we can get this looked at. My patience
if
is
they
wearing
don't fix
fucking
it-
thin.
If they don't
Yeah,
fix
they
it, it's
don't-
going to do damage to their building, and
I think they
it's not
stopped
your
caring.
fault at all.
But
So
this
That's
is not
when
about
code
the
enforcement
office and
comes
how
in,
incompetent
and
Okay,
it
well,
holy shit, that
so-
is.
This is about
my
dishwasher.
story about my dishwasher. So I moved back in with Lefty here, and like 2 weeks into being back here, and the dishwasher just stopped mid-cycle and wouldn't drain.
Yeah.
So it had a puddle of water in the bottom, and it wouldn't drain.
Oh.
I power cycled it, tried everything I could, took the filter out, rinsed it, nothing. Called the guy and said, and asked him how much he'd charge me to come out and take a look at my dishwasher, and he's like, $250. I'm like, for that, I'll give you a call tomorrow. I'm gonna see what I can make happen myself. Yeah, I mean, pull the motor apart, pull everything apart, and see if there's something stuck in there. There might be something just stuck keeping the propeller from moving. Like, okay, thanks. He calls me back on Monday, but I had already figured it out. And I still don't know what the fuck was wrong with it. So
But you haven't figured it out. It just spontaneously started working.
I drained all the water out of it, pulled it away, or pulled it out from under the sink, or under the counter, and unhooked the drain hose from the motor, hooked it back up, and it magically started working.
You have more luck with your appliances than I do.
Maybe it was a loose connection.
No, it wasn't a loose connection.
Loose connection in the drain pipe.
There is no possible way that this was a loose connection, because if it was a loose connection, there would have been water all over my floor.
Well,
That's the only
right now
thing
the
I
working
can think
theory
of.
of mine is
Like,
that
that
the
does
system
not
is
work at
fucking
all.
Sentences.
No, it was not a loose connection. It is impossible for it to have been a loose connection, because the drain pipe plugs into the motor, and if the motor is not spinning, water is not going into the drain pipe. The motor was not spinning. And I don't know why, but it's just magically working now, and it hasn't worked yet. So I'm
Turtle,
just
if I were to
okay,
do a
cool.
plane ticket, could you fly down and like touch my dishwasher and see if it works? That is literally cheaper and faster than bugging my office
Dishwasher
trying
Jesus.
to get shit done.
Hang on.
Dishwasher Jesus.
Yo.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, someone in
We
chat
got
just
someone in
said
chat.
something,
Just,
Turtle.
annoying appliance stories podcast when? Like,
Yeah, really.
I just saw that.
show, but with dishwashers. Yeah,
You know what?
dude, it makes
Make
no
it a
sense.
topic at
We-
some point.
Fuck it, why not?
Yeah, just annoying technology.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure. That's a great idea. Just
Consider tonight a
stupid
preview,
appliance
then.
stories. Oh my god.
Tonight is just a slight preview of shit to come.
I still don't know why my dishwasher is just magically working. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Your dishwasher Jesus. Your dishwasher Jesus.
Oh my god. Yeah, the guy calls me on Monday after that, and like I called him on a Friday. I fixed it on a Saturday. He calls me back on Monday and says, "Hey, did you get your dishwasher figured out, or you want me to come out and take a look at it?" I'm like, I unplugged the hose and it just started working. He's like, "That's weird. That shouldn't happen." Well,
Unless you
give me a
can
call
understand
again if
magic.
it stops working.
I don't think your services will be necessary.
I'm like, I definitely will. Yeah, I mean, that guy, he makes money more off of the sale of equipment than fixing stuff. So him fixing stuff is just like a, hey, someone needs help, I'll help them out.
Yeah.
And he charges what it costs him to come out, basically. He's not
Hey,
making
that's
money off of it,
interesting,
so.
At this point, I'm gonna have to pay.
So,
someone
yeah,
to do
that-
it.
Well, that's good at least. Like,
You know, actually, legitimately, let me
someone else
tell you
would
something
probably
here,
charge
so.
you like $3.50.
If you're, you should look into the laws in your area, because there is likely a stipulation that if you have informed maintenance there is an issue and they have refused to fix it, and it is now causing a bigger issue, which it is, and they still refuse to fix it, then you can fix it and pay less rent. Give them that receipt
I'm already on
legally,
top of that
and they can't do anything about it.
because I have left a message for the office. I've sent it a work order. I called maintenance again, and I've written confirmation that he's going to come look at it tomorrow. So if he doesn't,
Yeah, if
I'm going to start working on that.
If he does it, well, then it's
if
in
he
your
doesn't,
hands.
don't touch it yourself. Call someone to
Not
come do
going
it.
to. I am more liable for it to blow up if I touch it.
Yeah. So like, I know how that
I
shit
don't know
works.
shit
Like
about
it is really fun how that shit works. But yeah.
Don't know shit.
You got to be a fucking magician to figure it out.
I'm a magician because I just pulled the fucker apart and whee, it's working.
They call him Turtle Wizard.
Fucking get it.
Oh no.
Why don't we just call me the Turtle Wizard?
He makes turtles.
'Cause I whiz.
Which,
You called me the Wizard. I called myself the Wizard.
you ruined it.
Oh boy.
Is your child there?
No, that was me.
Okay.
lowering my
Anything
voice.
else we could really talk about, or should we go ahead and wrap it up for the night?
I'm okay with wrapping it up early because it sounds like I got to do my homework.
If we had, we might have to bring back the subject of like just technology in general.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah, we definitely. There needs to be a
as an overall with a lot more people here.
Yeah, I have one more thing.
Hardware.
I bought a motherboard and CPU cooler and some RAM from someone a long time ago. I paid them like $25 for it, and I had plans to use it, never did. And well, that thing is so fucking old now. I was like, this is just garbage. DDR2, a super old CPU. It's not usable anymore. No. Instead, I had some target practice. And I found out a 243 straight through a CPU heatsink.
Oh, and
You
now
have
we have
no
a
idea how
TV
many
to shoot
PC
too.
Master Race elitists you're just pissed off right now.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's.
Well, no. This is old stuff. We are on
People piss other
DDR4
people
at this
off.
point.
Now we're on DDR5.
Also, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
If you have
5.
a video
Oh,
of you
shit.
blowing up computer
God.
equipment, people will get pissed.
Dude, it was so old. It was just garbage. And it was like 8
I'll
gigs
take
of
your word for
RAM. I just
It was
shot
it was
the
ancient.
fucker and that bullet went straight through that CPU
Put it out
cooler.
of his misery.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. So obviously at the end
So just know.
of podcasting, we're gonna go ahead and ask you guys to give where people can find out more about you, what you do, and see more content with you in it. So Stealth, go ahead.
I've been here enough times. Y'all can find me at twitch.tv/DeltaFox. We're going to try doing something on Monday because we will be free, Vampy. We're going to take you. We're going to go do things.
All right.
Yes,
Starting on Monday
kidnapping.
Yeah, take it.
What was that?
Vampy, go for it. I'll tell you in a bit.
Okay.
So you can obviously find me on twitch.tv/Bloodworth. I know I have a Kick account with the same name, just not active at this point, but if you want to follow that, go ahead, because I do plan to start that up whenever I get the chance.
Okay, and Tease, if you're alive and you want to give your stuff, even though you didn't say anything or didn't say much.
Yeah, I contribute. I'm here. I listened. I support my Pookie Wookies. Anyway, you can find me pretty much in tease.vrc. Don't ask me for computer problems. I'll blow it up.
Okay, and me and Sobe are always here every Tuesday and Thursday, but that's probably going to be changing soon. I'll make some notices about that when we decide on those changes. But every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time, you can find us at the Beyond Pixels podcast here on my Twitch channel,
Also, the fucking shit show, don't forget.
And yeah, and you can also find the prior podcast on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, also again under the same name, Turtle1. And if you look down below, there is a Discord link.
Oh, Xavion's in the chat. Xavion's in the chat.
Oh boy, he is.
Are you shitting me? We were just about to wrap up.
No, we're wrapping up. I'm kind of tired anyway. I didn't get enough sleep last night.
The people have taken off.
No, we'll
it's
do another this one. So
yeah. What is it?
every
11?
Tuesday, and Thursday here,
definitely.
every Wednesday and Friday
11.5.
on YouTube. The podcast get re-uploaded there. So check the links down below. There's a link to join the Discord server. You can give your input on topics or just hang out and talk and maybe join us for a podcast in VR chat. That's about all I've got today. Anyone, did I miss anything? Tuesday, we don't know what the topic is yet because we suck at planning things ahead.
Legacy lives on.
I've got suggestions in the thing, and you don't look at the
I do
suggestions.
look at the suggestions. I just can't think of enough stuff to talk about for those suggestions.
Vampy, just because something's in
Well,
the
we
box
combine
doesn't mean just
things.
pull
Or
shit
the
out of it.
Suggestions aren't computer or internet related, like at all, and I don't want to use those unless I really, really have to.
We can talk about console.
Have you ever fucked a computer? There's your next topic.
Oh my fucking god.
You know what?
Well, that's gonna be it for
Well, one
today,
of my
though. We're gonna go ahead and
suggestions
wrap it up here.
Internet related.
Yes, I know. We're
You know
probably
what
gonna
I
end up
wanna
just
talk
telling fucking
And
internet
it would be one
stories
that we could actually
because I
Oh,
can't
Unity
think of anything
and
else.
Blender suck.
So tomorrow,
Oh,
next
man,
Tuesday's a free for all.
I have no idea about that either.
Take care, chat.
I'm sitting here trying to work on these
Bye-bye,
textures,
everybody.
and it's not working.
We'll see you guys on Tuesday, hopefully.
Bye.
Peace.
Traffic killed Xavier today.